It's September already. Summer seemed like it flew by. Reminder, we're up here in Pennsylvania. It's actually beautiful out right now, mid 70s, but summer's flying by. So, want to get into the market update. Crazy market still. Lots of news to cover. So, hey, just a reminder you here, we're here to give you expert advice on everything housing. So, I want to go over like the home sales. You can see this in the news a lot. And so I'm going to go over the national news just like we do every week, or not every week, every month. Go over the national news, then break it down for the Lehigh Valley, which we're based out of right now. You can see here, existing home sales receded 16.6%. Year over year, really from this time last year. And you can see that's across the country. Northeast, where we are located, a little bit higher at 23.8%, a little less inventory up here. West at 12.5%. So what does that tell you? It tells you that a lot of people are moving out of the West Coast and moving into the Northeast area and also into the Midwest. Because it shows that, hey, there's not a lot of home sales like going onto the market as far as listing goes. And there's really two factors that are driving these current sales activities: inventory availability and mortgage rates. And we've seen this. You guys have been following our market updates month over month over month. And it really does come down to, hey, when you don't have that many homes available, there's not a lot to choose from. And mortgage rates are pretty high comparatively to what they were last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and so forth. And so right now, it's been a little bit slower from that side. And it's because of this rates. Now, the one thing I want to bring into perspective with mortgage rates, and this is why I broke it down this way, right now they're hovering at about 7.3, 7.4%. We're at September 21st right now, so third week into September, about one more week to go. But you can see here, it's around 7.3%. But you can see here, there hasn't been much of a change. You can see floating around about 6, gone up to like 6.5, and it's been hovering around this 7 range really for almost the whole entire year. The previous big jump was definitely in 2021 when you saw that huge jump. And then you go into 2022, 2023, and it's really been holding a steady pretty much really over the last year. So what we're seeing is inventory. And let's get inventory, because that's the other part of it. Rates up pretty much steady though the last really last year. And then but you see here the inventory significantly down. Now I kept 2020 and 2021, and actually 2022 really out of this equation. And the reason for that is not that we didn't collect the data. It just shows that 2017, 2018, and 2019 are really your normal years that we had in real estate. 2020, 2021, 2022. So 2020, you got hit with the pandemic right away. A lot of areas in the country shut down for several months. No transactions were able to help. So the listing inventory was way down during that time. 2021 still way down. 2022 still way down. And the reason I kept those out is because they're very similar numbers to what you see in 2023 as far as listings down. And it's really because the price growth during those last 2 years has been significantly higher, because in 2020, you had still low mortgage interest rates and yet low inventory. And so home prices were spiking. In some parts of the country, it actually went up 50% in home value. So we'll get into this later in the conversation here. But home prices have gone up pretty high, and a lot of people are seeing a lot of equity. But I just want to show you really how drastic it was since 2017, 2018, 2019. This is really those normal years when you see much higher inventory. Typically, your average home would take 4 to 5 months to sell, not the less than 2 weeks that you see in the market right now. So you can see here, that's really when you see like a stable market, is when a home sits on the market 4 or 5 months. That's typically when you see a more balanced market. But the interesting thing about August that we saw just this past month is that this is one of the few times really in the last couple of years that inventory active listings actually went up in the month of August. You can see here really since 2017, it's always gone down. And you see this all the time. That's why we always say real estate is cyclical, meaning that, hey, inventory usually drops down in the fall, late summer, fall, and then definitely into the winter time. You can see here always drastic jumps. And then back in the springtime, people start listing their homes again. That's why you always hear, I'm going to list my home in the spring. I'm going to list my home in the spring. That's usually what you see in the real estate market. But August is very interesting right now. It's one of the few times in really the recent history that the inventory active listings is actually going up. And you can kind of see that it's because homeowners have seen that interest rates have basically been bounced out over the last year. There's no spikes anymore in mortgage interest rates. They get more comfortable with it. They're looking to actually buy right now, and so that's why you see people actually putting their home on the market more times than not. And that's why you're starting to see this spike in new listings coming back on the market. People are actually getting more comfortable with the steadiness of the interest rates. They might be high, really over the last few couple of years, but again, they're more comfortable. That fear is gone a little bit. But now, when we talk about inventory and active listings, I can't stress this enough. This is one of the reasons why we have such a lack of inventory out on the market. People raising their hand to say that I want to buy my home. 70% of Americans that are out there have a current mortgage rate that is less than 4%. So when you're talking rates in the 7.3, 7.4%, people will hesitate to put their home on the market and go buy another home because they are going to be paying significantly more compared to what they're already locked into. Clearly, you're going to have people like that maybe have bought a condo, their family's expanding, they need to get into a single family home. Those types of people. You always have the move up buyers, people like that. But your average homeowner is not going to just raise their hand and say that they want to move. And you can actually see this based on a study that was done by FHFA of what that looks like. Most people aren't just raising their hand because they're not going to sell when their mortgage is less than 3%. They're probably not going to sell if their mortgage is less than 4%. People that have a mortgage rate that's higher than 6%, yeah, they're probably going to sell. People at 5, 6%, they're probably going to sell. But again, that's a small percentage of the American population that's out there that fall into that category. So, what's happening then in the lending world because all of these rates and everything going on? You're seeing people, and you're going to see this term in the news a lot, NEPO home buyers. And what that means is that the younger generation, the younger homeowners who might not have all of the down payment that they need, they're getting assistance from their family members or an inheritance. And you're starting to see a lot more cash gifts, help from family members that already own their home have gotten tremendous equity over the last several years. They might have bought their home 10, 15 years ago. Well, they're the ones that have been able to actually get equity out of their homes and pass that on to their children, give it as gifts, get them into that. So you're seeing a big rush of these types of first-time home buyers being able to use down payment assistance from family, from inheritances, from different things. And you can see here, there's a big surge in that right now in our marketplace as more agents are being able to educate their clients on this. So when you come to us at the Don Winter team and EXP, you're able we're able to sit down with you, understand your situation, and we'll guide you based on what your financial needs are, what you have in the bank versus what you don't have in the bank. And we can help you formulate that plan. Maybe you have an inheritance that you just didn't know that you could use towards your down payment. Maybe you have somebody that can gift you some money in the meantime. So there's a lot of different things that we can go over as professionals for you to help you out as a first-time home buyer. Home prices. So many people ask me about home prices and what are they going to do. And home prices have been interesting because you see here all the month over month changes. And I'm going to go over this from like 2022. So 2022, you start to see month over month home changes like 1.4% up, 2.2% up, 3.3% up. And you see all these ups, 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 ups. And then last year, around late summer, early winter, things started to go down very slightly. And this caused a lot of people to make predictions like Case-Shiller, like FHFA, like CoreLogic. They made a ton of predictions saying that home prices were going to go down by the end of 2023. And you can see all of this data here from Zillow, Black Knight, Freddie Mac, etc. And what they basically says that their original forecast at the end of 2022 going into 2023, it was saying that their almost everybody's home prices are going to go down by the end of 2023. But you can see here that never happened. And if you've been following our market updates, my market updates here, I've been giving you that information, telling you, showing you the data, showing you that home prices are not going down. They have not gone down. And you can see here, many of these industry giants predicted that once all of that started happening. And this is their current forecast. So they've changed it. So since September, they have actually changed what their current forecast is by the end of the year. Some people say it's going to be flatline. Others are saying it's going to be up 3.9%, up 6%, up 5.5%. Obviously, this depends on the region of the country that you're in, but on average, we are seeing 3, 4, 5% increases of home prices over the past, really over this year. You can see that here going forward. So right now, by the end of this year, we'll be at anywhere between 3 and 4% increase. Predictions for next year is anywhere about 2% increase. And you can see here 2025, 2026, 2027, they're all going up. You don't see negative price index drops at all, really, in the thing. And it's because of low inventory and different things. And you can also see here what the 48-year average has been with price movements during these different months of the year. And what's been interesting is that basically 2023 has started to come back down to these 48-year averages. Funny thing is, in 2023, they're actually above what the 48-year average has been from 1973 to 2021 of average home price increases. So that tells me that we're getting back to a more normal and average price increase, not those 2020, 2021 numbers where you saw huge increases, 15, 16, actually more like 20% increases year over year for 2 straight years. Some markets saw 40, 50% price increases in the matter of a 2-year period. That's just not the case, and that's really not sustainable. But you're starting to see this coming down as we're going into this. But the great news about all of this is homeowners across the nation, and this has just been updated by Adam Data and FHFA, is so many people, because of those increases in prices, are sitting on a tremendous amount of equity. So if you are looking to get the most amount of money for your property, rip some equity out of your house. The average American, I think, the case study came out was $294,000. Your average American is sitting on in equity in their house. And you can see here, the large majority of them owns their home free and clear. 38% of America owns their home free and clear. You see that in a lot of the older generation. They're able to actually still buy homes with cash. They're able to gift money for first-time home buyers that are within their family or friends as well. And then as you can see here, most people have more than 50%. So over 68% of people have at least 50% equity in their home. That means that if they bought that house for $300,000, or it's worth $300,000, they really only owe about $150,000 left on their property, and they have about $150,000 sitting in equity in their house. So if they would sell their home for $300,000, they pay off their loan of $150,000. Simple math is they would get a profit of about $150,000. Obviously, that doesn't include closing costs and all of that, but that's just an example of how that would work. You can see here, tremendous amount of people are sitting on a ton of equity. It's really your people that have bought over the last year that don't see that much equity, because one, they just bought it, and two, really over the last year, prices have only gone up about 3 to 4% in most of the markets across the country. So it's very important to show you that there is equity in houses. So showings in Pennsylvania. So a lot of people are like, all right, well, inventory is down. Interest rates are super high comparatively to all the past years. Prices are high. Like, why the heck would I buy a home? Well, I just want to show you that people are buying homes right now. We're still getting multiple offers on home. We're still getting a ton of showings on houses. And you can see here, this orange graph shows what's going on in showings in the whole state of Pennsylvania. And this black line is actually 2022. You can actually see here that 2023 is actually higher in the amount of showings than it was back in 2022. And the fun fact is that 2023, the mortgage interest rates are higher than what they were in 2022 with less inventory. So again, that goes back to my theory that consumers are getting more comfortable with having the interest rates not going spiked up and spiking down and spiking up and spiking down. They've been really consistent over the last year, which shows that people are still buying and selling homes right now. And typically going into this fall season right now, late September, early October is one of the best times to buy a home. A lot of homeowners, if their house is still sitting on the market, they're either going to drop their price before the winter comes, or they're going to take their home off the market. So a lot of people are willing to negotiate in this fall market. It's one of the most incredible times as a homeowner, a home buyer, to buy a house. So let's review Lehigh Valley, because that's where we're located in the Lehigh Valley. So you can see here, percentage list price received. Just like I showed you, people are still buying homes. Average list price to receive is 102%, meaning that if you list your house at 200,000, expect offers to be at 204, 205. You can see here that people are still buying homes and multiple offers are still being received. That is why average list price to sales price ratio is higher. So it's an incredible thing. Average sales price still way up. $370,000 in the Lehigh Valley. You can see here it's up 3.6% from this time last year. So again, when I told you about those unicorn years that I did in a previous market update, 2021 it was up 13.5%, 2022 18.6%, 3.6%. It's still up. Prices are still going up, but this is more normal price appreciation. Yet the key word to that is appreciation. Homes are still going up in value. There's no drastic drops. There's no down swings with that. They've still gone up. Average days on market is still around 15 days, still under 30 days to sell a home in Lehigh Valley. That's really been consistent over the last year. And you can also see here, it really hasn't changed much over the last couple of years. Homes are still flying off the market. Yet inventory is down 34.8%. Again, that goes back to my graphic that I showed earlier, that most people, when you have interest rates at least 4% or below, and most 70% of Americans have an interest rate of that, they're not going to be just selling their home to buy a new one or another home because of the significant cost increase. So inventory of homes way down right now, which helps with driving that actual buying of properties. So strategy matters more in this market than ever. Reach out to us at the Don Winter team. You can see here, we always talk about know all your options to sell your home. Hey, let us talk to you. Let us understand what your wants, your needs are. Let's get a cash offer if you just don't want to show your home. You just need help with getting it done. Let us walk through your home. Let us know what we can do to increase your value of your home, what it looks like out there, and also just offer you off-market opportunities, off-market properties to buy. It's just, as you saw here, lots of low inventory. It's a struggle out there for that. But scan this QR code, go to dw-team.com, get your guaranteed offer from us, get your cash offer. Let us know if you want to know your home value. We're more than happy to stop out, get your home value for you. And any buyers that are out there that are just wondering what the heck is going on in the market, rewatch this, reach out to us, and we can help guide you through your real estate transaction. So thank you. Summer's been crazy. September falls upon us. I'll see you guys in October. Thanks.